So recently I made a video explaining how I renewed the lease to my apartment without having the financial backing to do so. Now, like I said in the video, I'm not in a situation where I'm broke per se, or where I can't afford the apartment right now. It's just that if things continue to go how they've been going, then I won't be able to afford the apartment. At a certain point, I will no longer be able to afford the apartment. Or I'll be able to afford the apartment, but not with the other living expenses that come with living on your own. Now, with that being said, I want to kind of elaborate on some of what I said in that video. I didn't read the comments or anything of that video. I don't really read comments anymore just because I value my peace of mind, and I feel like there's no real point in further explaining myself. I'd rather just continue to make videos where I elaborate on these topics. But basically, something that I've learned along my journey is that intuition is the best guiding principle. But not only is it the best guiding principle, it's also the most logical guiding principle. And this is something that requires a complete paradigm shift. This requires you to pull the rug from under everything that you've ever thought to be true in your life. Because more often than not, growing up, we are taught to live through our minds. We identify with our minds and with our egos. We identify with our names, our races, our religions, our personality traits, and these things are not us. We are not these things. These things are extensions of us. When I say me, I'm no longer referring to Jordan Green. I'm no longer referring to the person that you see on the camera. I'm referring to the essence that you feel through the camera. I'm referring to the essence that drew you into this video. You clicked on this video for a reason. Maybe some of you clicked on this video because you already have that inner reputation as far as I'm concerned, and you trust what I say. But there was a point in time when you clicked on my video and you did not know who I was. Whether that's this video or any other video. Could have been a no-fap video, a workout video, a hair tutorial, doesn't matter. Okay, I have never been the first person to make any video on this platform. At least not to my knowledge. And yet you still chose to click on my video. A lot of people, they struggle with YouTube because they put out great content, but they don't attract the audience. But what you have to understand is that great content is only a part of the equation. It's your essence that attracts people. And this is something that I can't really elaborate on that much because it's not really quantifiable. You can't put that into statistics. But I'm gonna do my best in this video to quantify that essence in a way that is digestible for you guys. Now, like I said in the video regarding my apartment and that whole situation, what I've learned is that humility is the bridge between confidence and faith. Okay, if you want to be able to surrender to the will of God, the will of the universe, then you have to have humility. Now, what does humility look like in action? Humility is you letting go of your need to control things. And the only way that you can do that, the only way that you can let go, the only way that you can relinquish your need to control things from your ego's perspective is to disidentify from your ego. You have to stop identifying with your ego. This right here is what prevents a lot of people from getting what they want out of life. It's what prevents them from getting relationships. It's what prevents them from finding material success. Okay, they want these things, and oftentimes they want them because of their egos. They want them because their ego feels incomplete, which is an inherent part of the ego's beliefs, the ego's ideology, its psyche. Okay, the ego is rooted in the lack and scarcity mindsets, which is why it propagates sentiments like competition or domination. Okay, it feels like its value is relative to everyone around it, but it's not, because we are one. We are one essence. We are one being. We are one universal energetic field expressing itself in different ways. Now, I know that this may sound like a radical concept to you guys, but deep down, somewhere deep beyond all of the conditioning, but behind all of your ego's resistance, you feel that to be true. Maybe in a different way, Okay, maybe you perceive it in a different way. Maybe you see it as God. maybe you see it as Allah. We are this same universal energetic body. And in that understanding, you open the door for unforeseen blessings. This is why I felt so faithful when I renewed that lease to my apartment. I had somebody email me recently, basically begging me to move back in with my parents. And while I do understand that you guys have my well-being in mind when you send me messages like that, and that he had the best intentions, you guys have to understand that I don't make decisions based on logic anymore. Because guess where logic got me? Nowhere. Logic has gotten me absolutely nowhere in my life. Intuition is what has moved mountains. Intuition is what has enabled me to carve out a life in which I can sit in my car at 7:52 in the morning in this random parking lot and film this video and get paid for it. Intuition is my guiding principle, and it can be yours as well. We all have it because we are all of the same universal energetic body. Intuition is the proof of that. Your intuition is proof, because when you follow your intuition, things always work out in your favor. Even when it doesn't seem like it initially, things will always work out in your favor. There have been times in my life, especially in these past few years, where I was forced into surrender. And you guys have to understand that surrender is not giving up, it's letting go. Okay, it is letting go of your need to control your reality, your need to micromanage your reality. And what does this look like in practice? Presence. You are present. You are in the here and now. And a lot of people, they don't understand what presence truly means. They conflate presence with degeneracy. They conflate presence with instant gratification. But you have to understand that present moment awareness doesn't necessarily mean that you relinquish the past and the future. It simply means that you utilize the present moment as your means to experience the past and the future. You see, even when you get to the future, you'll still be in the present moment. But a lot of you won't, because you're not even in the present moment right now. And if you're not in the present moment right now, you'll never be in the present moment until you decide to be. A lot of you guys create contingencies for your present moment awareness. And this is what is hindering synchronicity from working in your life in the way that it's worked for me. Is you're not allowing yourself to surrender. You're not allowing yourself to surrender to the will of God, to the will of the universe, to the will of the divine. Now, like I said earlier, over these past few years, I've learned firsthand how to surrender because I basically had no other choice. When you suffer so much internally, you have no choice but to surrender at a certain point. You see, a lot of us are taught that resistance to pain is strength. In reality, it's weakness, because your true strength is only to be found in the understanding that we are a universal energetic body. We are one. Okay, we are one being. That's your true strength. Because in that understanding, you understand as well that you're infinite. Your potential is infinite. Your potential is limitless. You are infinite abundance. You are infinite love. You are all of these things that you desire. Because you think that you have these material desires. You think that you want a BMW. You think that you want that new apartment. You think that you want those designer clothes. But you actually want an abstract feeling behind those things. You want a feeling. You want the feeling associated with those things. Feelings are also not quantifiable. You can't quantify your feelings. You can't use statistics to measure your feelings. Feelings can only be experienced, not measured. And with that understanding, you can move from a space of surrender, because you know that you can't rationalize your way through this life. You just can't. I tried it. I tried it so that you guys don't have to. I've been there, done that. Now, some of you may have to learn this lesson on your own as well, through suffering. I hope that that's not you, but some of you will, and that's okay. Your path is valid. Your path is every bit as valid as mine. But you have to understand that if you want synchronicity to work in your life, you have to surrender to the understanding, to the notion that you are not your ego, that you are something beyond your ego, and that something is infinite. And in that infinite understanding, that infinite awareness, comes infinite potential, hence synchronicity. This is what enables me to take those leaps of faith. Somebody asked me how I felt so confident quitting my job when I only had $600. It's because I knew that synchronicity was working in my favor. How did I know that? Through my intuition. I had a gut feeling, a gut inclination. I knew that things were working out in my favor. I couldn't explain how. I didn't know how. I didn't know when. I just knew that things were working out in my favor and that that was the course of right action in that present moment. And what did I do? I followed it. I surrendered.